23 should hold in
Hmm.
terms of silver right in this area right now.
Yeah,
We
right at
have
the
two
23 mark.
areas of resistance, 2450, and then the big one comes in at 2650. And I think that if we get the precious metals running throughout the year, that's the first point I really want to see silver break through
That
before
26 mark?
26, absolutely. Because
Mm.
if it's going to go to 30, and that's what I believe is most likely, if we get a run in the metals, it's got to break through 26 first.
Silver prices experienced a notable uptick in recent market developments, rising 1.4% to $23.06 per ounce. This rebound followed a 4-day consecutive decline that saw silver hitting a 2-month low at $22.48 an ounce, sparked by remarks from Federal Reserve officials. Silver showed resilience despite a 0.6% loss on Thursday, with a session low at $22.75. Gary Wagner, the editor of thegoldforecast.com, sheds light on the distinctive industrial demand dynamics propelling silver. He emphasizes the impact of technological advancements and the green revolution on silver consumption. Wagner anticipates that the momentum gained by precious metals, particularly silver, may lead to a breakthrough beyond the $26 mark, a pivotal point for a potential further increase to $30. The silver price witnessed a significant surge in buying interest after marking a fresh 7-week low at $22.50. Despite the stubbornly higher United States Consumer Price Index report for December, the metal rebounded to nearly $23. Wagner points out that after reaching its peak in early December, the price of silver experienced a decline. Noting this trend, he sought to identify potential support levels. The silver price exhibited a clear bounce downward after retesting the broken neckline of a head and shoulders pattern. The critical support at $23 proved resilient, providing a solid foundation for the price to rise again. The surge in demand for silver is notably attributed to the green revolution, particularly in producing solar panels. Wagner underscores the critical role of silver not only in solar panels, but also in various high-tech applications for building hardware. Projections indicate an 8% increase in industrial silver demand, reaching a record 632 million ounces. The Silver Institute attributes this growth to investments in photovoltaic technology, power grid development, 5G networks, consumer electronics, and the rising production of vehicles. Before you watch Gary Wagner's interview, subscribe to our channel and give this video a big thumbs up.
Well, I don't know what the consumption is by industry, but I can tell you that the consumption will go up undoubtedly over the next 3, 5, and then 10 years. The green revolution will have a lot to do with it. I know that silver is heavily used in the creation of solar panels, but it's also used in all of the tech companies, although copper is a primary one. Silver is widely used in all of the high-tech companies in terms of building their hardware. So what we've seen in the equities markets in terms of the gains this year, which is short term, but last year, especially last quarter, was the overwhelming response to AI and how that's ramped up productions of the GPUs or the video cards and all of the applications that those are using. Elon Musk built a thing called the Dojo, which is a very sophisticated series of CPUs. All of that requires some component of silver. When I look at this, I've got a basic Fibonacci retracement. It begins at around $20.86 up to approximately $26.35. And that was the range from October through December. And so what we're looking to do is, after it hit its top at the beginning of December, it started coming down. We wanted to see what level it might find support. And if you look at what happened around the middle of December, it hit lows just below the 61.8, which comes in at $23, a little bit below there. But in a candlestick, what it is you got a tail, exactly. But the real bodies maintained the price point above that. And that to me is showing that that is a level of technical support. And then, of course, we had a small blip up. It went to about 24.50. It came back down to that area. And this is current pricing, the beginning of 2024. And once again, we saw that there was good demand, it seemed as though silver was being bought up at those prices. This is what's called a Henkin Ashi, or a Japanese moving average chart. And I really like it because it reduces the noise. You can see solid green on an uptrend, solid red on a downtrend.
Mhm.
You look for two things. If I draw your attention to about the center of the chart, that cross that came in December, and then when it sold off, you look at the size of the bodies, and they're rather large.
Yeah, I can
And
tell.
as we came down to that 61% retracement, or $23, the body size reduces till we get what's called a pivot candle.
Mhm.
On a Henkin Ashi, on red candles, you don't want to see upper wicks, because the difference between a candlestick chart and a moving average chart is how they fix the open.
Right.
On a candlestick chart and a bar chart, the open is the true open. On a Henkin Ashi, they fix the open as the midpoint of the prior candle, and that's how it averages itself out. So what you get is recent action at the beginning of this week and the end of last week, meaning the beginning of the year. We saw the sizes really begin to reduce. And that tells me that we could be at a tentative short-term bottom. The space of time I'm looking at is only a couple of months, so we're only looking to go out another couple of months. But it tells me that 23 should hold in
Mhm.
terms of silver right in this area right now.
Yeah,
We
right at
have
the
two
23 mark.
areas of resistance, 2450, and then the big one comes in at 2650. And I think that if we get the precious metals running throughout the year, that's the first point I really want to see silver break through.
That 26 mark?
26, absolutely, because
Mm.
if it's going to go to 30, and that's what I believe is most likely, if we get a run in the metals, it's got to break through 26 first.
According to the World Gold Council, central banks bought a net of 44 tons of gold in November. Gross purchases 60 tons heavily outweighed gross sales 15 tons as central bank demand maintained momentum. Emerging market banks have been the driving force on both the purchase and sale side. The People's Bank of China remains the most significant gold purchaser 2023. This surge in central bank gold acquisitions aligns with the observations made by financial analyst GaryWagner. He highlights that the increased interest and purchases by central banks reflect a collective acknowledgement of the enduring value of hard assets, particularly gold. Wagner emphasizes the enduring status of gold and silver as tangible assets with inherent worth, distinct from the volatility associated with fiat or digital currencies. The statistics reveal a staggering 92% loss in the dollar's value. Even with a seemingly moderate inflation rate of 2.7% in 1994, the dollar will lose another half of its purchasing power by 2022. Let's get back to the interview.
As far as digital currency goes, whatever form it ends up being the most accepted form, whether it's a government or a Bitcoin or Ethereum, to me, it's not if, but when.
Right.
There'll be a point in time. I mean, listen, there was a point in time when there wasn't currency and they bartered, my cow for 2 goats or whatever.
Mhm.
Then currency became accepted. And then at last, that was a really a long run when you consider, well over 1,000 years. There will come a point when paper currencies are collected like stamps or something, but they're not really have any beneficial use. You can't transact business. You can't pay your taxes. It's all going to be digital. It's become digital over the last 5 years in what they call in banking ACH and SWIFT, where everything is moved back and forth between the banks. So it has been in a form of digital, but to go and to abolish all of hard currency, I think it's a matter of if and not when. And that could be anywhere from a couple of years to 5 years or 10 years. I don't know what
Right.
that timeline is going to be, but I think it'll be sooner than later, personally. Now, what will digital currency do to gold and silver? Well, gold and silver have always been a hard asset with intrinsic value. That's not going to change. If anything, we have fiat currency now. Digital is no different than fiat currency. It's not really backed by anything. The key with digital currency is the controlling of the bookkeeping, it's decentralized. So
Right.
nobody can kind of own that. But gold is gold, silver is silver. And I believe they always will be. There'll always be not a need, but a desire to hold assets in terms of hard currency, because the other hard asset is real estate. It's not very liquid. You can't move it around with you.
Yeah,
It's
true.
it's not something you can do something with, but it's always something that will have value. Stocks over time all have been moving up. Well, everything's been moving up over time simply because the buying power of the dollar has been declining. So it has nowhere to go but up. But there's always going to be a reason to hold hard assets. And when you think about it, why has the central banks been scurrying to buy more gold than ever before? I mean, last year was a landmark year. There's a reason that they're buying hard assets. It's not like they know something our investors don't know. They know exactly what we believe.
The LBMA silver price average was slightly down from the 2023 average price forecast of $23.65 an ounce. However, the report noted that silver rallied nearly $2 compared to the 2022 average price of $21.73. How will these trends continue to shape the landscape for precious metals in the coming years? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If the video resonates with you, join our community by subscribing to our channel and enabling notifications with the bell icon. We aim to reach 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and your support could make a big difference. Thank you for being a part of our community.